What's up, everyone? Keith Richards from Team MBS Media coming here with you one last time with my final thoughts on the Rapid season. Season ended last night after a 4-1 loss to the Los Angeles Galaxy at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Best of 3 series. Rapids lose up ending on an aggregate of 9-1. So it's not how the Rapids wanted their season to end, but I guess in giving my final thoughts on the season, I know a lot of people want to say it's just the same old Rapids. And I would disagree with that fully. I mean, you have to look at last season versus this season just on the straight narrative of the numbers. Last season, the Rapids had 27 points, 5 wins, 26 goals. This season, Rapids had 50 points, 15 wins, 28 goals. Almost doubling it in at least those 3 categories. I know the season did not end the way people want it, but you have to look at everything they accomplished. They won the Rocky Mountain Cup outright for the first time in a few years. They finished 3rd in League's Cup, clinching a spot in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. They became the first MLS team to beat Liga MX team 4 straight games, which hasn't been done yet. 2 of those games being against Cruz Azul and Club America, another one against Toluca. I can understand how some Rapids fans might feel the way that they crashed out of the season, that is not much improvement from the season before this year, but that is not really the case. I mean, if you set aside your emotions and look at it from a logical standpoint, the Rapids were way better than they were last season. A lot of people predicted them to be among the lower teams in the league again. That wasn't the case. I think they got as high as 3rd in the Western Conference. Absolutely, there's things that the Rapids need to improve on before next season starts. One of those being getting a good center back. A lot of the things fell apart this season when Mos Bambito was sold over to France. And for a lot of things that he didn't do right, which I still think he did a lot right, the thing that he did best was to provide recovery with the style of play that Chris Armas wants the team to play, which is a high press, big counterattack, stand on the front foot. When you do that, you leave yourself open to counterattacks on the other side. And what you saw against teams like LAFC, LA Galaxy, there could be great stretches in which the Rapids played well, but when it came to counterattack, there was no one to recover. And we saw that particularly in the last 2 matches against LA Galaxy because they got killed on that counterattack. For as good as I think Andres Maxu has been, for as good as I think Reggie Cannon was a good addition, neither of them, especially Lawless Abubakar, could do what Mos Bambito does. That hurt very much. And then the midfield. It's hard to explain the midfield. You have great midfield players, of course. Cole Bassett, George Mihalovic. I think Connor Ronan had a better season than what people believe. Oliver Ross had a great breakout season. But still, it just seems... I don't know if I want to say that they need a 6. I don't know if a 6 fits into Coach Armas' system, that the way they think a 6 should fit. But there's something that just needs to shore up the defensive end of the midfield. Because another thing Mos Bambito did was cover up a lot of the defensive deficiencies in the midfield, especially on things like counterattack. So for sure they need to get a good center back, particularly one with speed. They need to, I guess, finalize the midfield, because I think the midfield is really good, but if they can get someone to just be that one missing piece to stop some of those counterattacks, to be able to push the ball forward from the back line up to George Mihalovic in the attacking midfield, and maybe another backup striker. Rafael Navarro had a... Sorry, my apologies. Rafael Navarro had a great season. A lot better than what most people anticipated. He still could play better, but once he's off the field, they don't have another striker that can replace him and do what he does. The thought is that Darren Yappy would be that. I don't think Darren Yappy is that. I think Darren Yappy is a great young man. I think he has a great chance to be good further down the line of his career. He's still young, probably a little bit too young than what the Rapids need right now. But they'll have a lot of decisions to make. I think they have decisions to make on Wallace Abubakar, Jonathan Lewis, Sebi Anderson, Oli Raz, and then by selling Moise Bombito, they were able to get a lot of resources that they can use in this winter transfer window and even further down in the summer transfer window, depending what they do in the winter transfer window. So I think the one thing that people should realize, especially fans, is that even though the season did not end the way they wanted it to, they definitely have a great solid foundation that they can build on into next season. One of those things being they need to add more depth, because assuming that the Leagues Cup moves forward again next season, they'll have CONCACAF Cup games as well and MLS games. So they need depth to be able to counteract what I think the biggest problem was this season, is that they just got tired. But if they spend their money wisely, keep players wisely, add players wisely, I think the Rapids could make a little bit more noise next season than they did this season. And who knows, maybe even make a shot at the MLS Cup. I think that's a big if. It really depends on what they do in the transfer window. But overall, I think it's a season that fans should feel a lot better about. It didn't end the way it could have, given how good they looked earlier in the season, but it still was a very successful season. But we'll see what they do next year. I'll be there with Team MBS next year and through the offseason to see what the Rapids do. But until then, signing off. See you guys next season.